Okay, a client asked me about a really specific muscle building mechanism, and I've gone and created an entire module in my members only area. I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek in this one. It's clarifying personal best training and reverse pyramid training. Super effective at building muscle without having to spend a lifetime in the gym. I won't go over it just here in this video, but I've obviously created a lot of content in the last couple of days just for this client about everything from strength training to muscle hypertrophy, and I'm just about to release onto this on this private page a graph that I've created, and I want to release it, I guess, out to the people who have been watching social media content that I've been posting, and it's really based and targeted on the absolute dire state that people are in terms of muscle development when they're in their late 20s, sometimes early 20s, but definitely early 30s onwards. And I'm using my good old trusted paint tool. So let me get that up without further ado and make this a quick video for everyone. Okay, so let me just get my screen up. I just want to give, I guess, a bit of an understanding of why we should be aiming for fat loss rather than weight loss. So this black line that you see going across the screen, this is a little makeshift graph that I've created. The black line is the healthy amount of lean muscle mass that you should have at any given time throughout your life. The red is an unhealthy amount, so a low amount of lean muscle mass. I've got these categories here. We've got childhood, early teens, late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, and 40s and 50s onwards. As we can see in, I guess, from like a childhood standpoint, your parents are typically going to keep you pretty active growing up. Maybe this next generation is going to be a bit different, stuck behind the new technologies. Early teens, so you're typically doing a sport or something that's keeping you like building up your muscles and really testing, I guess, your limits physically. Might peter out late teens once you're starting, either depending if you're really into your sport or not, or whether you're kind of focusing on studies or not. And then early 20s, you'll typically have a big spurt of wanting to get fit in your early 20s, and that'll teeter off later on. Usually, I'm just going by like that's the standard 9 to 5 or someone who's currently a parent at the moment these days. In your mid 20s, you start to get, I guess, hunkered down in like career a little bit more. You start to have a few midlife crises, or quarter life crises. You change your what you're doing for a living, and health stops becoming, I guess, the priority. And what I really want to emphasize from like mid 20s onwards, especially late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s onwards, late 30s, early 40s and 50s, is that once we start to gain body fat, once we start to get into an inactive routine that's focused on really specific fitness goals, once we start inducing physical stress and mental stress into our day-to-days, we're stressed out and focusing on financials, relationships, career, self-development, self-clarity, just life stress. Life gets in the way, that's for sure. And as this happens from our, I guess, mid-20s onwards, and some earlier, some later, I just want to emphasize like the amount of lean body mass. You're not just gaining fat in this process. You're actually losing all of this healthy lean body mass that you've had your entire life. Typically, you're starting to lose it at a pretty substantial rate. Like obviously, it's not going to be a chaotic like when we do have like huge 2 to 3 month uncontrolled like bursts of eating foods, which can actually have you have like huge soars of weight gain. But like typically lean body mass, it's going to dissipate over time. But this is the thing, like in your mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s and onwards, like this is when you're getting hit with all of these weight loss programs and body transformation and healthy lifestyle, new year, new me programs. But the thing is, they're not really describing the amount of muscle mass that you've lost. They're really just focusing on this increase in body fat percentage. And it's going to be at your detriment. And this is a very quick video. I just want to drop this and just explain why. So when you're in this state, you're in your mid to late 30s, let's just say it's a bit of a range. And all this marketing that's coming at you in terms of losing weight, get a body transformation, it's all focused on drop 10 kilos as soon as possible, get on a low calorie diet plan, focus on HIIT training, yoga, Pilates, cardio, find balance, focus on the number on the scale, essentially. Unsustainable diets, restrictions. You have low to no focus on really specific nutrition protocols just for you. You have low to no education on specific muscle building protocols just for you. It's no, I'll just work out. I'll just be happy. Let me get rid of paint for a sec. You're probably just not seeing too much here. You're just getting focused on what's the number on the scale? How can I lose as much fat as possible? Because you are in that position, you are in that state where you've gained so much fat, you're not even focusing at all at where your muscle is, where your hormones are, what are the regulation and the optimization of your hormones. Are you in a really stressful cortisol kind of state? And this is the thing, once you fail, then you repeat the cycle again. But now, the reasons why most of these diets are failing is because you're underdeveloped physically and you're overtraining and all of these things that don't really build much muscle mass. No matter what the influencer that you're following has said, HIIT training, yoga, Pilates, extra cardio, if that's been the big focus in terms of fat loss to get your body transformation and change your life, change new year, new me, they're doing you a disservice because it's unsustainable. And what's going to happen majority of the times, let me get off the screen. What's going to happen most of the time is that you're going to develop, I guess, eating issues. I won't say the actual terms, just with the social media, they pick up on the actual terms. You're going to have problems with eating. Sometimes, let's just not put that as a blanket statement out there. But there's now misinformation, confusion about health protocols. There's all these rules, what you should and shouldn't do. You're focusing on the wrong things. You're becoming a repeat client in the health and fitness multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's keeping you in this hamster wheel, this loop of the BS fitness industry, not focusing on lean muscle gain, having you focus on weight loss, not fat loss. And that's the thing, and let alone you've got this negative perception and view of health and fitness. It's now a chore. It's now something you can't be doing anymore. No wonder you can't be stuffed doing, because you have low lean body mass. Your muscles are literally in a painful state just to get up to a healthy level again, which is, I guess, why you're finding it such a chore, because you're in such a bad spot and you don't even know it. You're just focusing on, okay, how fat am I on the scale? And that's it. So at the moment, your programs that they've probably had you focused on a couple of workouts a week, eat healthy, and that's it. You're focusing on fat. They're focusing on weight loss, not fat loss. Fat loss, and that's the thing. When you start focusing on the scale, you can start to get into this trap of focusing on BMI only, and not body fat percentage. Body fat percentage, an amazing goal to aim for if you're a woman in your mid to late 30s onwards. Under 30% body fat is considered very healthy. And these goals, obviously, anything between, I guess, it's broad, isn't it? Because it all depends on your lifestyle, your goals, and what you're up to in life. Anything between, I'd say, 19's a stretch. So from like 19% to, let's say 20% to 30. Let's keep it easy. Like a good middle range, like mid-20s, 23-ish, is just an amazing, healthy state to be in terms of body mass versus the amount of fat that you have on your body. But I can't emphasize enough, like having a roller coaster of body fat percentage between 20 to 30% is extremely healthy. So this is the thing, like you could be at a healthy BMI weight, but if you have low lean body mass and you've just been focusing on the number on the scale and not building up muscle, this is where you can still feel like absolute crap. Like in your fitness journey, you'll typically see a lot of like skinny fat people, a lot of, like I mentioned, eating issues, unhealthy relationships with working out. You're doing probably a lot of steps, a lot of cardio, and not so much focusing on lifting in the gym. And that's it. You don't have to lift in the gym, but if you're not doing like a weights, body weight based or progressive overload, I call it personal best training. If you're not focusing on that, really customized to you, really specific to you, and if you don't have a nutrition plan that's designed on building muscle and losing fat, or having an emphasis on either or without compromising the either or, like you're doing yourself a disservice in your health industry, health journey. You might be learning the hard way by yourself, essentially. What else have I got? And that's it. Like if on top of all this, like you've been given these unsustainable diet plans rather than something that's enjoyable and fun to you, and your goals have probably been focused on body image and just what's on the scale rather than quality of life and the meaningful stuff that the healthy body, healthy lifestyle, balanced lifestyle actually gets you in the long term. So like plus all the ego stuff that I freaking love as well. So like getting more attention, getting the wow factor, like that's all. We all know that's secondary, but it does feel good compared to the other meaningful stuff. So I'll leave that video with you. I didn't want to make a very long and arduous video for everyone this morning. What is this? 7 o'clock. But yeah, what I might do, if you are interested, I guess, in this graph, if you are interested in maybe like having access to some of like the module information, I might make it available to a select number of you for free, like not the actual membership area, but maybe some snippets here and there. I'm happy to dive in and explain this further, but hopefully this makes sense, like why there's more to, I guess, the body transformation goal when you're doing it right, when you're doing it healthy, than what you're just going to see like this, these influencers who have done it the wrong way in their mid to early 20s, or they've had these other pain points in life that have caused them to have these body transformations, and they've accidentally like focused on the wrong things but got the right result at the end. And they're forcing you to, I guess, not forcing, but like they're recommending programs that are designed based on their past experiences rather than going into, I guess, the literal top tier focus areas when it comes to a body transformation program. So hopefully this makes sense. If not, happy. I'll spend all day talking about this, obviously. So yeah, have a great midweek, Thursday, or towards the end of the week, and hopefully you're still enjoying holiday mode. If you haven't learned how to enjoy your workouts, enjoy the diet plans, like if you consider dieting and working out arduous and like something that's more, that adds more stress, then I'm telling you, you've been caught in one of these past weight loss cycles. Let me quickly get this graph up again. If you have this like this poor relationship with exercise and nutrition. I'm telling you, you've been sold false things. You've been stuck in this position where you're focusing on weight loss, not fat loss. Fat loss is the fun, exciting stuff, especially when you're doing an enjoyable diet plan, eating the foods you love, and learning how to add them in, feel full and satisfied without losing muscle mass. So there's really specific rules, and they're all custom based on you, your lifestyle, the programs that you're on, around protein intake, around calorie deficits. But that's the thing, like we have to make it enjoyable. We don't want to be this person in their mid-30s onwards who is stuck in a routine that's slowly diminishing your muscle mass over time. And as time goes on, like you're going to be stuck in this routine that's going to make it ever so much harder to get out of your funk. Like, let's look at the last couple of months, last couple of weeks. Like, if you're struggling to get the momentum building up again, like you need help. So reach out if this is interesting. It's interesting to me, and I could talk about it all day. So yeah, have a great day, and I'll leave it with me. Leave it with me. It's not a good sign off. You stay classy. No, I'll come up with something.